Man, oh man. What up, your guy? What's good, man? All right, let me close this out. Get live there. Here we are. Here we are. Jamil the King, what up? Coach Z, what's good? Chris Rogers said they ain't fixing cheating. ICJ, we live. Yes, sir. What's good, Cheem? Positive vibes. Justin, what's good, man? Hope your day is blessed as well. Thank you. Watching on my walk. That's what's up. Appreciate that, man. They're banning people that use secret in their rep and build from 99 to 60 overall. Yeah, I heard about that. I heard about that. Starfish, we're going to get into it. You know, they dropped an update today. Patch update is official. Q Boss, what up? What up, Ram? I haven't played 2K in 2 weeks. I know you're feeling the benefits of not playing 2K for 2 weeks. I've been playing Assassin's Creed Unity. That's what I've been doing offline. Yeah, we got it. We're gonna get into all the news. I'm wondering what's you guys' experience so far with the new patch update. Join us crazy. Agent Q in the building. What up? They should have just kept quiet, in my opinion. Patch update, man. You would think there'd be some level of acknowledgement. We got it. Patch 5 is here. Season 5 update. In case you guys don't know, every Friday at 11 a.m. Eastern time is usually when they drop the update, where everything changes for you. The patch update is live, from what I know, with the changes in regards to any changes that they intend to make. Yeah, they found a new way to cheat. They definitely found a new way to cheat. It's hard. This is bigger than 2K. Right now, it stands where Microsoft and Sony need to step in. Fear God said the patch ain't going to do nothing. Let's get to it. What is the community thinking? In case you guys didn't know, like, what is the community thinking right now? We'll go through the patch update first. We'll go through that briefly. I intend to make you guys think of some good comments to put in the chat if you want me to respond to something in particular, because I intend to make a video out of this stuff. So if you got something informative you want to share about cheating, or any like solution for 2K to handle this cheating. But as of right now, they're not even acknowledging that there's an issue. What up, Lou Reeves? What's the word? Update on cheating epidemic. Yep, that's what we on right now. I've been watching a lot of comp pro-am between YouTubers and can't help to wonder if they all cheating. Ain't that some? Are they all cheating? I can't say. I can't say for sure. I can't say yay or nay. I'll lean towards no, but I can't say for sure. The devs are awfully quiet. We know cheating often takes place at the higher levels of competition. Fear God said, I see why Agent 00 retired from 2K. What are the patch notes? We're getting into it right now. Patch notes are on the way, in case you guys haven't seen them. That's page 3. Let's get to page 1. And this is what troubles me the most. With everybody complaining about cheating, and this is not just from a creator's perspective. This is actually the community. Hey, let me put something in perspective. This year, I didn't even want to complain about the game. I didn't want to lean towards negativity in regards to 2K, but 2K, you guys just put this, man, you guys put this at the forefront of the community, ignoring the issue. First, antagonizing cheaters, Ronnie 2K sending out a message saying cheaters are down bad, antagonizing the cheaters, and then when they show up, like, hey, we here, where'd 2K go? Let me find out 2K is an internet thug. Let me find out 2K got Twitter fingers. They go antagonize cheaters. The cheaters show up like, what happened? What you had said? And now crickets from 2K. So much so that they drop a new update and don't even say anything about the issue at hand. The main issue that the community wants to know about, because it's plaguing every game mode. They can't go and enjoy these events. 2K, that means you're wasting time in development if folks can't go enjoy these events. Semper Reloaded with a $4.99 super chat said, I heard there's a new patch. RIP cheaters, you're in trouble now. Ha! The first page, this is what I was getting to. On the very first page, you'd think that there'll be some acknowledgement. Hey, we're aware of the issue. We're aware of what you guys are going through, especially in events. They're wasting time developing these events and servicing these events, posting these events, everything that entails. As far as 2K resources go, they're wasting time doing that, and the players can't even enjoy the events, and they're in turn actually having a negative effect on the whole player experience. So 2K needs to think about that as well. I'm going to get to the comments. We're going to scroll back up on the comments, but this is the page. Let me get through these. Let me get through these quick, because this is going to be, it's just ridiculous. The very first page, the general section says preparation for NBA 2K26 Season 5 launching on Friday, February 20th at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. Stay tuned for what we have in store. Who the hell wants to see uniform and arena updates this late in the annual cycle when we got such a big issue in the 2K community right now in regards to cheaters cheating? I don't get it. Uniform and arena updates, general hairstyle or likeness updates. How much do you guys think NBA players pay for their haircuts? Inquiring minds want to know. 2K thinks that the community is heavily focused on general hairstyle and likeness updates. So they put that on they plaster it on 2K. Let me give you a piece of advice. Start with what the community concerns. First of all, acknowledge and show that you're connected with your player base. So in your patch notes, start with community concerns on the very first page. Everything else is irrelevant. Put it in the back burner for the folks that are curious about hairstyle and likeness updates. Put that on the back of your patch notes. But we'll move on. We'll go to page 2. General is continued so long that it continues to the second page. Hair dynamics update. This is what y'all doing. This is where the resources are going to fix. Join us. Pure comedy. Hold on a second. Let me put on this. Let me see if I can get this going here. Media source. No. I forget what it was. I meant to put it on their browser source, right? Is it on the browser? There we go. Let me see if I could put add existing. Okay, there we go. That's what I wanted to get up there. Oh man, so they continue on, and now we get our first glimpse of the gameplay changes. And when they start addressing the gameplay changes, it says the first bullet point is fix the rear hang that could occur during an inbounds play after a block shot. How many times you guys get blocked? Help me out. I'm gonna get to the chat. What up, my dog? What's good, man? I'm gonna get to the chat in just a second. But how many times have you gone for a drive into the paint, you get blocked, and it's their ball as well? Insult to injury. Fix the possible hang during pre-game shoot-arounds. The alley-oop tutorial in Learn 2K can now be completed as expected. Yes! Yes, 2K. They fixed that. Thank the good Lord. The city and game modes. Address the reported hang that could occur when browsing certain stores for extended periods of time, of course. This is the aftermath. This live stream is the aftermath. What 2K is thinking, what they're thinking about in regards to servicing, your product that you done pay for and you continue to pay for throughout the annual cycle. You guys' concerns and issues are totally different from what 2K is concerned about, because they're busy fixing a hang that could occur when browsing certain stores for extended periods of time. They want to make sure when you're in there, you have all the time in the world to spend that VC. All the time in the world. Fix the hang that could occur when returning to the crew member screen after being disconnected. Resolve the possible hang that could occur when advancing to future NBA seasons in my court. Fixed, it says player stats and average teammate grade now appear correctly on the player matchup screen for any up games. The game stats menu now properly dismisses when opened immediately before player introductions. That's what you get. This is it. That's gameplay. The rest, it moves on to my team. To the chat we go, and we're going to see what the community has to say about all this stuff. A great way for 2K to handle the cheating is to stop making the game. Give it to somebody else, B. Give it to somebody else. Hand over the reins. 2K is only worried about the next 2K. This is the aftermath. We're getting feedback from the community, so I could put this all into a video. We're going to review what the community had to say under this post. 2K is dead. Now the game was good when it first came out. The only thing they need to do is buff up defense and fix the contest system. That's it. Excuse me. Now the game is butt cheeks. This cheating ish is crazy. That was Brandon Dunn. So people cheating in free modes, but not cheating in 5,000 Pro-Am tournaments. It makes sense, right? It's like, I get what you're saying, because if 2K can't contain cheaters, or let's talk about this. Let's talk about this for a second. How do leagues place parameters that seem to work okay around cheating and being able to identify cheaters, and 2K can't identify cheaters in the same way that a league would identify cheaters? You want to know why? Because it's so obvious, it's clear as day that folks are cheating. Players can tell ASAP if a player is cheating. At least for the most part. Let's give it a super high percentage, something like 80%, that players can tell when another player is cheating. That doesn't go, I just want to put this out there, that doesn't go for every player. Because I see players accusing others of cheating that are taking wide open shots, and they're just trying to make excuses for their team's poor defense. I'm not talking about those guys. We're talking about full-on knowledgeable 2K players can identify cheaters simply through gameplay. Type of shots you take, how aggressive you are, things like this. They can tell, but 2K can't tell. Make it make sense. Play 25, there are no cheaters. I will never, ever get back on 25. Worst 2Ks in 2K history, in my opinion. Not gonna lie, 2K really playing in our face with this patch. They know what's going on. They know what's going on. There's nothing like a virtual cut. Worst of the worst. I played against some lag switchers. I use that my advantage every time they slow the game when I shoot. I see my release queue as spark. He said, I want to get lag switched. Oh, yeah, crazy. I need to learn to refrain. None of your business said I need to learn to refrain from playing this game. Man, I got cheated yesterday. They lagged me and my boy because they was about to lose. We came back from a 26-point lead. They had lost by 1. They started lag switching us. Kicked themselves out the game as well. We worried about the jerseys and the haircuts. We're going to get to it. We're going to get to what the rest of the community had to say under 2K's post about this latest patch update. And hopefully that'll help create dialogue and spark some other concerns that you guys may have in this live stream. That's why I stopped playing the lag switches. It was too much. It's definitely too much. I hear it's damn near every game when you go into the park. Now, I've been playing Rec over the last few days, and it hasn't been all too bad. We maybe came across 2 cheaters over the last few days, so not too bad. Not too bad. And what up, Jamaican? Wagwan. It's not as bad as I thought. In the Rec, the first day I got on, we ran into a cheater, and then we had smooth sailing for a while, and then ran into another one. But they weren't heavily like they weren't so heavy on it. It wasn't so noticeable. Like they were just weren't good. A lot of these cheaters aren't good. They just don't even know how to use what they paid for. What up, Ann Hustle? Was good. Primo, what up? Two's in the park. The event's literally unplayable. Said I love 2K16, 2 games a day. When I'm on to different games, much happier with my gaming time. I think a lot more people need to do this. Chat is moving. Yo, bro, did you stop playing 2K because of cheaters? I think this is everyone's last 2K because it's one thing to play a bad game, but it's another thing to play the games. It's another thing to play the game and the devs don't care about supporting that experience. Supporting your gameplay experience is what they should be focused on right now, especially, I'm going to give a couple points here, especially when your VC that you're spending on the game, one, it's not yours, it's 2K's, even though you pay for it with your IRL money. But your VC that you invest in is gone after this annual cycle. So if we're not getting the utmost support during your gameplay experience in this cycle, then what does that mean for the fictitious VC, virtual currency that you're purchasing? The reason why I'm putting emphasis on this is because 2K, they had a lawsuit that came up against them in regards to VC that doesn't transfer over from one year to the next. There was a whole full-on lawsuit against them, and their argument was that VC is fictitious. It is not yours. Just like you license the game, you're licensing that VC, that virtual currency. Even though the same exact virtual currency is implemented into the new version of the game, it's not shareable from one year to the next. And if you so happen to want to stay on the current iteration of 2K instead of moving on to the next annual cycle, then you'll lose that virtual currency after another year when they shut down the servers. It starts to get bad when you reach the red plate. Always better to come in with a full team. Let's have a dance contest on. Let's have a dance contest on 2K. That's what 2K worried about. Let's get to the chat. Let me make sure this is it. Yeah, this is Evan. All right, so we went on to Evan's page. We're gonna get to it right now. Twitter scroll. We're on Evan's. And by the way, I noticed, just want to say this real quick, that 2K didn't post the patch notes, like the 2K X page, formerly known as Twitter. They didn't post the patch notes. Evan posted it. But we're going to scroll on down because it's here. Okay, Evan. Matter of fact, we got to go to the first one. There we go. I'll click on this one. And let's see what the community had to say. Where the hell is Mike Wang? Who in the hell knows? All right, now let's see. He posts all four images that I just discussed with you guys. Badge Plug posted an elephant emoji, like the elephant in the room. Nobody's gonna talk about that. Good stuff, Badge. Can y'all patch this? WAP 6. Votes TMB. Are y'all seeing this? Votes TMB council says band waves. First of all, that was the tiniest band wave ever. That was like if you throw a rock in a pond and you see the ripple effects going out. That was what the band. That's how tiny, how minuscule the band wave was. It was that little wave. Ban waves, council bans, perma bans. Evan, can we get a response, please? Anything regarding the current state of the game. Now, you're going to tell me this isn't designed in this way, that not one member from 2K, not one employee from 2K will respond to cheating? Not one? You gonna tell me there wasn't a memo sent out in 2K headquarters saying do not say anything about cheating? You know, tell me Evan didn't get that memo. How easy is it to say we're aware that there's an issue and we're doing our best and working on resolving it? Simple stuff. You got folks pleading, and you got 2K players who are actually spending their money pleading for service. Can we get some service, please? Can we get somebody to acknowledge that there's an issue? Jesus. No bans, no acknowledgement, just a game full of cheaters. Crying face, wavy. I get this is another doozy. Y'all gonna flip out off it. Y'all gonna flip out off of this one. I get banned for quitting out of games against cheaters, and the cheaters roam around freely. Make that make sense for me, please. You know, it's another thing. I just want to throw this out there because we was in the rec center yesterday and we were spanking some teams and they were consistently quitting. And you know how you get that one straggler at the end of, well, not even at the end of the game. They're all quitting by halftime, and we get one straggler who wants to play superhero ball, and we got to play against 4 AIs. For that reason alone, we should retain the option to quit out of that game, let alone coming up against somebody who's noticeably using a device and cheating on the game. We should retain the option to quit out. Be careful what we ask for in that same regard. We got to be careful what we ask for. We want to retain the option for somebody who's noticeably cheating to quit out of the game without penalty. But 2K and the way in which they like to do things is just give it to you. Oh, they want to be able to quit out of the game? Okay, give everybody the option to quit out of a game. And what's going to end up happening next year if that comes to fruition is that they're just going to give everybody the option to quit, and everybody's going to quit as soon as they start losing by 5 points with no penalty. So 2K, what we're asking for clearly, one is to first identify the cheaters. And if somebody is quitting out against a cheater, we shouldn't be penalized. You got to find a way to work around that and make these your duty. It's 2K's duty to make sure that we have a healthy online gaming experience. When we purchase this game and we intend to compete online with this game, we're paying you additional money to get our build up in order to compete online, and you're ruining our whole online experience by lack of acknowledgement. There's no effort on your behalf to keep us going and keep us playing this game online. 199 super chat from Semper said, did you miss my last super chat or did I miss it? Yeah, I didn't miss it. I don't think I missed it. This is only the second one. Oh yeah, 499 super chat. Sorry, Semper, I did miss it. So no updates to game speed, Zenners, lag switching, defense, or dunk meter. But hopefully we get a purple puffer jacket in the pro pass. Ain't that right, Semper? Ain't that right, man? Over 3,000 blocks for a name change. Man, oh man. Tandrewski said all of that, but no anti-cheat. 4 pages of nothingness, fixing hangs here and there. He said, are you guys genuinely effing? I don't even want to repeat that. Can someone please just acknowledge us? Pleading. Can someone please just acknowledge us? Do you just not care that we all spent a ridiculous amount of money to play your stupid effing game and it's unplayable? Y'all can't even reply? I never tried the defensive specialization, no. You can't even acknowledge that there's an issue? Tell us something. Like I said, this is one thing. I've been calling about the 2K devs being quiet about the issue for the longest time. It's been the longest time. I've been saying, hold on, they're unusually quiet about this joint. The reason why I'm stressing that is because in my belief, understanding how there's nobody talking about it, not one person saying anything about it, that means that it's an organized effort to not respond about cheating. And who in that level of 2K's organization sent out the memo to say, don't respond? And why? Why is there no transparency on this issue from what 2K, how 2K feels about it or what they're doing to resolve it? Everybody complaining, but you're still gonna play 2K. CEOC said, I get banned for quitting versus a cheater, though. How? He said, what is there to give feedback on? You didn't do anything. You did nothing. At least acknowledge that they don't want to acknowledge. Yeah, at least send out. We say, F all of y'all. We got y'all money already. We good. We're working on 2K27 to get y'all money again. Say something. I feel more comfortable. We're not doing anything else, y'all. I got much more on my account. He shared this post of someone cheating. Everybody got a post of someone cheating. Everybody. It ain't like we got to be on the search for cheaters. Nah. Everybody got a post about cheating. This community needs God. You need to enforce this ish. It's unacceptable that you turn a blind eye to this, but ban players instantly if they VC glitch. After the math, after 2K's math is right, the community, and they do nothing about cheating, the community then sends the aftermath. It says this, but you ban players instantly for a VC glitch, acknowledging that anybody who messes with 2K's money is going to get fixed. Step the F up because it's not fair to the loyal and fair consumers. What up, Adrian Gonzalez? What's good? The NBA needs to open the gaming license to other gaming. The license is public. The license is not only with 2K. It's not like EA had with Madden. Somebody could come in right now and make a basketball game. See, the thing is that there's a couple things that maybe y'all don't know about how the licensing works. First of all, it is a public license. It's not solely 2K that has that license, although they did go into a new partnership. So I don't know what that means. Then there's no details in regards to the partnership outside of NBA Take-Two Media, something like that they named it. I made a video about all this stuff. The thing is that 2K is such a stronghold in the basketball gaming industry that nobody's able to come up. 2K will buy you out if you got any level of potential, or they'll sneak you like they did to EA in regards to getting the college basketball license. At least that's the way it seemed. They had a non-disclosure agreement. Nobody was supposed to talk about the proposal and bids from different publishers to make this college basketball game. 2K's bid was lackluster. It wasn't up to par. EA had the bid and won the approval of the college licensing committee. For what? 2K just stalled them off, went to the conferences behind the college licensing committee back. It was already recommended from the college licensing committee to give it to EA. 2K avoiding the non-disclosure agreement, from what I understand, or at least from what was reported. They went behind their backs, went to the conferences, and in turn stalled off the whole bid and ended up taking it. Right from EA's hands, by the way. What everyone was hoping for, fixed a back-end exploit that allows users to manipulate game latency, frame rate, and Rand said, what everyone was hoping for was a patch note, something like fix the back-end exploit that allows users to manipulate game latency, frame rate, and achieve perfect release shot timing with third-party software. But he said what everyone ended up getting was uniform and arena updates. Cleveland Cavaliers Conference Championship banner correction. Oh my God, man. 100K, 1 million game revenue. Hit a 20-game streak, and bam, Cheetah shows up. There it is. You can't fully enjoy it how you would like to enjoy it. Share your feedback is such a spit in the face when there isn't a peep about rampant cheating that plagues this game. It's not me. I'm not tripping. Like I said, I didn't even want to complain about this game this year. But Lord knows if there are complaints to be made, we're going to hear them here on this platform, especially when they're so loud by the community. Like these complaints are, I did my best to avoid getting into this whole cheating issue. But it just kept growing and growing and growing. Semper with a $4.99 super chat said, I've been told there's no way to tell if someone is cheating. If only there was some way to tell if I totally zen and make it snow, which that's what these gamer tags are saying, bro. I totally zen and make it snow is to be the dude's gamer tag. Yeah, you remove if your grade is too low. Yeah, post their generic, leaving unsportsmanlike and bans. 2K themselves remove you, not human control. If we were to grade 2K solely by error codes, they'd receive an F. If we was to grade NBA 2K26 solely by error codes, or if we was to listen to 2K as a 2K community, when they kick you out the game, you actually log off. How about that? How about for every time they kick you off, telling you to get off, how about you log off? It's so blatant and in your face, the lack of support from 2K on just general issues with the game, error codes and the such. How is it that we're going into a rec center, a 5-person game, and we end up, say, losing our point guard, and you expect us to run through this game and waste our time? Why is it that one team is playing against 4 AIs? I didn't sign up to play a My Career game. I signed up to play online. That's why I selected the rec mode. And if that is the case, how about we get an option to just exit out? An AI, especially the most bootleg AIs possible, on top of that. Still no AI fix. It's not that hard. What the F do y'all be doing in 2K offices all day? Like, do y'all actually work or what? Dead. That was Aiden. Because the AI is horrendous. The AI is terrible. Man. You got one instance where the AI is going from the corner. That's so brain dead. That's the worst coding for AI I think I've seen to date. The dude, he leaves his man from the corner to take a driving option into the paint. Whose logic is this with no rotation? I don't understand what the AI thinks to leave the 3 to go guard the 2. So defensive aware in that aspect on a drive in order, and then gets a superhero contest, but is not able to contest a 3-pointer standing right there in his grill. The dude's just no dip right in the AI's grill like they're not even there, and it's called open. At this point, y'all just using 2K for content. It's unplayable this year. That's what people are saying. Slim said, what up, Slim? We should get the ability to quit out with VC after being up a certain amount, just like in my career. Easy solutions. Easy solutions. People still losing my players. If All City is 4'6", how tall is 2K? 2K's got to be like 2'7", something like that. Ronnie 2K only looks tall because of his beard. For those wondering why they haven't made any gameplay changes, most likely we won't see until the next title update. That was Pharaoh. No fix on lag switching, cheating, and AI defense in the rec. It's like you don't care no more. 256 in the chat. Appreciate y'all being here. And while y'all here, take a second, subscribe to the channel. We're still trying to grow. You guys could help us out with that. Why is there still no fix to substitutions after a timeout? Oh, man, my career players, I can't stand it. Bro, people are lag switching the game, zenning, and y'all worried about the alley-oop tutorial. The voice of content. He said, I greatly benefit from AI, no dipping. And I even load the AI. Yeah, exactly. That's the thing is that it's so brain dead that even the 2K community that is shooting over AIs, because when you got an AI, it's easy buckets for you. The 2K community is benefiting from this lack of defense in certain areas on the floor in regards to AIs, but they still would like some sort of change. Fix the lag switching. It's to the point I don't even care about the shooting script. At least against a shooting script, if you play good defense, you have a chance. You have a negative 10% chance of even making a bucket when they have the last script. Please fix this. And from what I understand, it's not a script, but I know what he means. He says, so we just aren't fixing glitched rep and Zens for the whole year? Nice, 2K. I just community creation said I just played an event game yesterday, 5-on-1. After the center let his man score 100 points. Everyone else quit midway through the game. Players hit full course shots like it was nothing. Appreciate it, Black Ink. Black Ink said, got our support 100%. Showtime Slade says, you're 4'6", bro? Yeah, I'm sitting on a booster seat. I keep telling you, 4'6", but when I wear Tim's, I'm 6'3". Can't even play Zenning. They're saying every mode is turning unplayable. Nah, like I said, I've been playing in the rec center consistently. I'm gonna get back to it. I've been playing in the rec center consistently, and I haven't had that much of an issue. All right, this guy says something interesting here. He says, Layback J said nothing about the cheating. I honestly think the cheating situation is going to take a minute to get fixed because I really think it's a system problem like Sony and Microsoft. They have to resolve it. A lot of people are thinking that. Yeah, bro got the Super Tim's facts. He said Don said 4'6" is average height, B. Yeah. 4'6" is average, B. Oh, man. I got Parsh complaining about 2K. Thank you, Black Ink God. Thank you for saying that. Let's get to it. Black Ink said 2K being sarcastic this year, I feel like. They heard people complaining, so they gave us water they asked for and letting us sit here and ish. The issue with 2K is oftentimes when we complain about some, 2K just frustrated because they can't go the way in which they want to lean in gameplay development. They want to have more control. I imagine Mike Wang, the gameplay director, doesn't like the idea of so many cheaters cheating on the game, and he knew this was going to happen. This is what it feels like. I can't say that fact, but it feels like they knew this was going to happen, and they just gave us the game. Like I said, they had 5 years from 21 to 25 to fix the issue in cheating while they had RNG incorporated into shooting. This is the whole reason that kept cheaters at bay. It was the RNG, the randomness and shifting green windows kept cheating devices at bay. They go and give us a pure green window now in NBA 2K26, and bam, if cheaters just flooded the scene. You can tell me 2K didn't know that was going to happen with all the engineers that they hire. You're going to tell me at some point during QC or quality assurance, they didn't find out that there's like a gateway here for cheaters to just infiltrate? And take Microsoft and PlayStation, but doing nothing about it is unacceptable. There has to be some kind of deterrent. I feel is unacceptable as well. The acknowledgement, I think, is where a lot of 2K players are at right now. And if they can't find a solution, and if the solution is beyond 2K, because a lot of these devices are undetectable, then let us know that, or let us know you're working with Microsoft and Sony to resolve the issue. You know, we need to know something. I kind of feel bad for you guys. It's never ending cycle, and you guys will continue to buy the next title. I will be buying the next 2K, and it is sad. I tell you one thing, what's happening, and you know, like we just covered not too long ago, 77 to 80% of 2K's revenue comes from recurrent consumer spending, microtransactions, the purchases that you guys make after you buy the unit game. I can tell you that this year, I've spent the least amount of money that I've spent over the last 5 years. And I imagine next year, I think I'm going to just go no money spent and move that way until 2K steps up their game and shows us they're going to offer support throughout the year in order to earn. Why do I earn me as a consumer? Because most of their money is made after people buy the game. So I'm going to take that away, just buy the game, continue to make content with you guys, play the game, but there's no good reason to spend money on a game that's not supported by its team. I don't see any good reason. If you buy any type of digital software similar to what 2K is, an app, if you buy any type of digital software, it's only as good as its support. updates, bug fixes, things like that. 2K has a good support system for developing hair and player likenesses, things like that. Slim with a $10 super chat said cheaters are out there, but bad IQ players got to stop crying wolf when they run up against a talented squad. Slim said, I don't cheat. I shoot high percentage by taking smart shots and letting the game come to me. And I touched base on that earlier. Like I said, there's a lot of folks out there that think they could identify a cheater, but they don't have enough experience with like higher or more skilled players and the type of shot selection that skilled players have. Uh, People who are well versed at 2K, they know better how to identify a cheater. Not to say that someone who doesn't play doesn't play as often can't do it, but they're less likely to truly identify a cheater than someone who's more familiar with it. When we was talking about those pro-am games and identifying a cheater at those high level or high skill games, I say they need to get real hoopers on a dev team. They do, though. They do. What up, GB? What's good, man? Wolf is out there. Salute to Wolf, by the way. Wolf is out there, and they got real ballers on there. I think that's probably why we received NBA 2K26. I would like to believe that that's Wolf's influence out there. I can't say that to be fact, but I want to believe that that's Wolf influence, the reason why we got so much better gameplay than the last 5 years. If we was to compare, at least in my opinion, I'm having way more fun this year, minus the cheaters and stuff. It's still a lot of goofiness taking place, but as a point guard, I'm having way more fun than the last 5 years. $4.99 super chat from Semper said, I don't see any reason to buy 27 with GTA. That's true. We don't know where things might go. GTA is about to change the whole scope of gaming. And although they're under the same parent company, 2K is still 2K. I'll play it when it shows up on PS Plus. Yeah, right. We'll play 2K when it shows up for free or heavily discounted. Same here, GB. That's what's up. I'm just tuning in. What did I miss? Well, we went through a lot. We went through the gameplay patch. This is an update for the folks that are just tuning in. A quick update. We went through the gameplay patch and we realized that 2K, they did nothing about the largest issue in the game, the elephant in the room, cheaters cheating. They didn't address it. They didn't alleviate any of the 2K community members' concerns. They didn't offer a solution or even an explanation as to why it happened or how to resolve it. They said nothing. They just totally ignored the problem. And we ended up going to where 2K posted this on Evan's page. Evan posted the patch notes and went under the comments and realized that we have a ton of community members pleading, begging 2K for some level of response, some level of acknowledgement to say, hey, we're here paying. We know you make the majority of your money through us continuing to pay after we bought the game. So we know you're making money through online services is what I'm getting at. And there's a lack of support for the online service gameplay experience. And you got a bunch of people, feeling neglected. They put microtransactions in GTA 6. I imagine there's going to be, yeah. Yeah, any game that big, but I imagine they'll do it in good taste. If they don't, then they're in for it. But they're not gonna screw this up, yeah. They're not gonna screw this up. They're gonna follow the same formula that's granted them success and allowed GTA 5 to have such a long shelf life. So they're gonna do it right. Another super chat just came in that I missed. Semper with a 189 super chat said, "I'll stay on 26 after the cheaters move to 27." Semper said, "I'm staying where I can shoot good." I would feel better even if they said, we know the current situation is too big a problem to fix. So next year, thank you. So next year we will do better to combat it. Simple. I feel the same way. Simple. It's not going to be acceptable, but 2K got to know that this experience is not acceptable, especially because most of your money comes from us paying right now for this experience. shoot 70% on damn near every build. The need to zen alone is wild, right? But I ain't touching this ish with the lag switching. That gives me PTSD from back in the day. We can't go backwards. And that's another thing that I meant to mention. This lag switching goes way back. It's one of the oldest issues that 2K has had was lag switching. It's only resurfacing now at this, high level. And I think a lot of players, after getting lag switching becoming so popular, and by the way, I just want to remind you that it is a crime. It can be considered a crime. So hit that report button if you need to, if you're getting lag switched. Lag switching affects other people's gameplay as opposed to someone having a Zen and only, their gameplay is affected. The community, I don't think, is capable of boycotting 2K. You're right about that. Yep. You're absolutely right about that. I said it. The community has changed. The culture has changed. It's now a revolving door of players who are less invested into the franchise. They'll get on when it's good and get off when it ain't. And 2K, I feel like it's playing a risky game, but they're making sure that nobody is coming up behind the scenes. You know how 2K downfall happens is when they're not producing. That's how 2K's downfall happens. If they're unable to produce, then there's not going to be as much put into their budget. It's simple stuff, B. There's a business. As long as they're able to continue to produce, then they're going to keep investing in that, the development of that game. Addiction to microtransactions, because this exploit has much more possibilities. If they already can intercept packages and lag you out, they can auto green on internet packages level 2, and much more will be developed. He's saying there's only the beginning of it. There's only the beginning of the end. This is an issue that I think can really tarnish 2K's reputation, especially with such a huge game like GTA coming out. It can tarnish it to the point of no return, where nobody will take I keep stressing that a good amount of their money, it comes from recurring consumer spending, but that's going to take a huge hit if their online reputation is tarnished. I only get 2K to play online. So if I cannot play online because it's going to be such a bad experience, then, the eventuality is I will stop getting 2K, and hopefully games like GTA could come onto the scene and take over that time. And I think that's what's going to be the case for a lot of 2K players. Slim said there is no way for 2K to fix the cheaters. Zens and other devices emulate the chipset in the controllers, which means it's a hardware issue, not a software issue. And this is what we was saying in the beginning of the stream as well. This has more so to do with Sony and Microsoft now that cheating has so much evolved. Seems like it's out of 2K's hands to a certain extent, but 2K being such a heavy hitter should have influence that their game is being jeopardized. The gameplay experience is being jeopardized by cheaters. So they should have leverage. They've made so much money. They are heavy hitters, so they should have leverage enough to be able to be in contact with Sony and Microsoft to say, hey, we're having this issue. Can we find a solution? There should be something. And I feel like that's the dialogue that we should be having with 2K right now, because it has become such a big issue that I imagine those talks have had to happen. I don't feel, what you say? He said pretty much the end of 2K for you. Bro, I had a cheater say he is a comp player and he uses the online play for practice. So they're using being comp as an excuse now. This is crazy. Anybody who's using this is a change in culture, but from my era, anybody who's using a cheating device shouldn't even be talking about how they're comp. That's just wow. The CEO of Take-Two said that the NBA 2K is at its best in revenue. You heard about that. Hopefully, CEO of Take-Two said that NBA 2K is at its best in revenue. Oh yeah, it's between NBA 2K. I made a video about this stuff. They didn't share much details, but yeah, the two leading contributors to Take-Two's revenue is NBA 2K and GTA. And where that revenue comes from for Take-Two, 77 to 80% of their revenue coming from microtransactions, which originate from 2K and GTA. The new generation all-star team up going to get dirty. If it's a software issue, I mind when the developer I'm paying is not acknowledging the situation. Cheating is pretty much normal in games and has always been that way. And it takes a huge effort. You know what I mean to say? It takes a huge effort to keep your player base and resolve the issue at the same time. And, you know, if you're unable to resolve the issue, offering a certain level of transparency to your consumer, your player base, the people who are paying those microtransactions, and further building on that 77 to 80% of recurring consumer spending, is good to keep them abreast of what's going on. Do you get what I mean to say? So that way they don't up and leave forever, hitting that point of no return with the gameplay experience. It's unplayable. How many people have said that in this live stream already? The game is currently unplayable. Chris Wick said Elite Dangerous and No Man's Sky is where it's at. 2 great games. Yeah, played them both. 80s babies don't do that stuff. I don't even think that they're gonna put a lot of effort on 2K27 because of GTA 6, and you might be right about that. I think the 2 games, they work well together because a lot of 2K players will play GTA, and a lot of GTA players will continue to get their basketball fix on 2K. So I think in regards to that, 2K is probably one of the safest games to release in proximity with GTA. But no game is everybody's gonna take a hit. Like every game is taking a hit when GTA drops. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it, and there's no way around it. 2K footprint compared to other gaming communities is so small that Xbox and Sony will focus on more of the money makers and genres. I don't like people shifting the blame to Sony and Microsoft. 2K, well, it's not necessarily shifting the blame. It's just understanding the facts that cheating has evolved so much. So we're not trying to, like, 2K is always going to be at fault because they're the ones providing the service. So they're the ones who have to actively seek out a solution and be transparent enough with their consumer base or their player base in hopes that the gameplay experience doesn't tarnish their reputation for good and have those players dip. So they're always going to be responsible, but the reality of what's happening because of the evolution in cheating, the software doesn't identify. They're not made to identify. It has to do more so with the hardware, the developers of the hardware, which is Sony and Microsoft. They have to have a better anti-cheat or something, not even anti-cheat. They have to have like a better active system to identify, these devices. A better system, a better way of, not allowing certain devices to copy certificates or softwares to copy certificates, and they have to find a better way to read cheating devices. So we're not necessarily shifting the blame, but cheating has evolved. In other words, the software as well, maybe that could evolve too to better identify anything other than a controller being plugged in. And like I said, the homies are saying, people complain about shooting. 2K gave us shooting. People complain about defense. Now they took it away. That's what it is. It's not a responsibility to develop a balanced game. It's not a responsibility to create a balanced experience. And what is considered a balanced experience is subjective to the person who's actually experiencing it and developing it. Mike Wang's definition of balance is very different from a lot of players, and it's hard to find 2K players who feel the same about balance. It's hard to find 2 of them. So, we end up getting like such dramatic changes in gameplay, like 25 to 26, where you couldn't shoot in 25. It was hella erratic. Then in 26, you could hit almost anything that's open if you're a decent shooter. And I just want to add, people are missing. I run point guard. I see them out there missing. So It ain't like, I think, in my opinion, shooting is easy, but I'm seeing a lot of people missing. Anybody else feel that too? So it ain't that easy, is what I'm getting at. But it is one of the easier shooting years. He said, anybody else feel that NBA, that 2K's downward trajectory correlates with the NBA? Just look at All-Star Weekend past few years. 2K doesn't escape their part of the blame, but they are tied too closely, and now they're tied even closer than ever before with this NBA and Take-Two partnership. They made the NBA so much money, and the NBA helped them out tremendously, that they decided that they had to, create this partnership. He said, we just need a Ready Player One type of event to fix 2K and basketball gaming. I be thinking about that too. I like that movie a lot. But yeah, we need like a game changer in the industry, and hopefully GTA could help fill that void. I'm not necessarily. What up, Red? What's good, brother? I'm not too worried about it. They would have to ban all third-party controllers, and they would lose too much money from people getting licenses. Cheating is not going anywhere, sadly. You know, it's possible. There's a lot of companies who do this. Apple is one of them. Not providing a service for third-party affiliates. Creating stuff for their consoles. Apple is right there. So I think that stuff is possible. If cheating continues down the same road, there's only 2K that's now experiencing it at this particular level. But if the online game experience, the gameplay experience for every game, like imagine cheaters just going into every game, if that experience gets ruined or is jeopardized, people are going to lose a lot of money. And that's when you start seeing these people with these companies with heavy money like Take-Two step in and say, all right, we got to talk. And that's what we need. We need them to step in and say, hey, all right, now we need to talk with Microsoft and Xbox Microsoft and Sony, and let's really find a solution for this stuff. If lag switching is in 2K27, I won't be buying the game. I got lag switched 3 times during the event. That's where it's most common. You're going to run into these issues. That's the problem with the lack of support and lack of transparency from 2K, is because they continue to introduce events enticing us to play this game, in turn receiving player retention from us, player time. They're getting a benefit from us being online, and they don't do their best to support what's on offer. They're not doing a good job to support what's on offer. Too much for me to type, but firmware registration can fix this almost instantly. That's interesting. Firmware registration sounds interesting. 2K will never be perfect, just like any other game. They'll never have it all figured out. The issue, see, the issue is not perfection from 2K, but it's a way in building community bond or consumer bond. The bond between the company and the consumer. And Ronnie 2K knows this firsthand, because that's the whole reason why Ronnie 2K exists. The name Ronnie 2K was solely developed to build a bond between the consumer and the company. They wanted to help bring the company back down to ground level, create that connection. That's the whole reason why the name Ronnie 2K exists. So I think it's important that they keep that at the forefront of their mind. Otherwise, they run the risk of jeopardizing that relationship, and people stop spending money. And it may not hurt them straight up initially. They might be like a slow downward trajectory, like the homie was saying, but it could easily trend downward real fast, especially with games like GTA coming out. Purple Rasta said, the way y'all talk about cheating, y'all pretend like 80% of the player base is cheating. It's nothing like that. See, that's the difference here. It's probably nothing like that for you. And it's not like that for me. You're right. I play in the rec center. That's the only mode I go into. But it is like that for a lot of park players. And I think one time is too much to get lag switched. In my opinion, one time is one too many to get lag switched, let alone every day you log on, you run the risk of getting lag switched if you play in the park. You know what I'm saying? Or if you're a certain plate level. I have a 7%er and could shoot. Literally all you have to be is able to do is time your shot animation or tempo or whatever other people do. He said 1v1, you'll see how it is. He said, I think that's what's going on. He said, I think that's what's going on here. A bunch of bitter players who cope by calling any and everybody a cheater. We talked about that earlier. I could agree with that. I hear it. I hear it often when we're out there. Because when we go in, by the way, anybody who's in this live stream, if you want to run with me or any other member of the All City team, just join our Discord. You type !Discord in this live stream chat. The link will come up. Click the link, join today. Whenever I'm looking for players, I send out a message in our general chat. I do this damn near every day and every single time I log on. So there's plenty of opportunities for anybody from this live stream chat that wants to run. You can come on into the party when I send out that message. But we end up running with a lot of different players of different skill levels. And some of them lack a experience or lack a particular IQ at certain levels. So, you know, they see somebody shooting really good and they're like, he's got to be cheating. And I'm like, but that's not good shooting. That's poor defense. The man is wide open, bro. So I feel you all the way. Some people might use this cheating issue as a way to cope. How many of you guys feel like that? Do you run into players who just lack such a high amount of skill that they just end up blaming 2K? Like, you know, this man tried to go up on 5 people and the coach and the towel boy. He misses the dunk and then says, come on, 2K. If they made the game where people couldn't just have a 60 interior defense and stop high standing layups, consistently, they will stop making these pure offensive builds. He said they get way 199 from Scott. What up, Scott? What's good, bro? Hopefully you good. I don't care about the Zen remotes. It's the lag switching and them being able to slow your player down. I never quit. Even I'm in the rec and it's 1 versus 5. I feel you on that, by the way. The lag switching, it hits at a different level because now your whole gameplay experience is getting ruined and changed. We have too many in the community that are sore losers. They hate to lose altogether. One team has to win and one has to lose. So stop being soft and understand the game. Couldn't have said it better. I had to look at their win percentage and 3-point percentage to see who's cheating. You mix the win percentage, the shooting percentage with what you actually see on the court against good defense, especially we go out there with a good defensive team that has a lot of defensive awareness and good rotations. And we mash that up with what a player is normally capable of doing. If he supersedes that, then we keep an eye. We're like, oh, hold on a second, homie. Nobody shoots like that on us, you know, type of thing. But, you know, good defense will be able to get some stops. And you just measure that and trying to identify these cheaters. Some people, like a dude was once playing, made a slasher 3-pointer build thinking he's a PG. Took him off my list instantly. Scott said he got a secret. Oh, wow, that's crazy. Right, yeah, some people like a dude. Oh yeah, man. I was actually surprised to not get lag switch on the All Star event. Well, other people did though. You might have got lucky, but other people were talking about that. They came in the stream talking about it a second ago. He said, "Get better blocking perimeter." They prove with this patch notes that they don't give a damn about this experiment. Yeah, they don't. They don't care. We went through the patch notes early in the live stream. If you're just tuning in, we went through the patch notes in the live stream. They didn't have much to say. What we were doing right now, I could go back to the patch notes. Um, like I was saying before, you know, when they drop patch notes and what's on the front page of the patch notes doesn't address any of the community concerns. And the front page, in fact, just goes a whole different direction that nobody's concerned about. A patch is like an update, so we want to know how you're addressing the online experience. That's why we're interested in what's going on. On the very first page, they say uniform and arena updates because that's a concern of ours. We're concerned about uniforms and arenas. Why is this even in the patch notes in the first place? We don't need to know that. We'll see it if we need to. The folks that are not even concerned with arenas or uniform updates, they don't need to just see this on the first page of the patch notes. It's so large that it continues on to the second page. And then look at how important gameplay is to 2K. After the first two pages, the first page and a half takes up uniform and arena updates and general hairstyle and likeness updates. That large set on the first page seeps over into the second page, and then boom, gameplay at the bottom of the second page starts out with fix the rear hang that could occur during an inbounds play after a block shot. Fix the possible hang during pre-game shoot-arounds. The alley-oop tutorial in Learn 2K can now be completed as expected because that's what we're concerned about. So there's a double slap in the face for a lot of us because we're expecting to hear something, some sort of solution for the cheating uh, on NBA 2K26, and instead they're focused on the alley oop tutorial in the Learn 2K mode, probably the least visited mode on this game. People only probably went into that Learn 2K for your build specialization stuff about events and haircuts. Yeah, no bag work from a lot of players that come across some move every time they get the ball. It was 4+ gigs of data that should have been prepared before launch. If 2K took out the glitch moves in the game, do you think it would slow down the cheating in the game in any way? 2K hairstylist needs to be fired. Anytime any one of y'all lose or lag, y'all just blame somebody else. A cheater, this and that. Delusional. Hold on. The fact is there's cheaters on the game and there's a lot of players that are being affected by cheaters. That's a fact. But there's also another side to that because cheating has been getting crazy on the game that lesser skilled players have an out. They're able to blame everything on a cheater. But we get on the game every day and we're not accusing everybody of cheating. You know what I mean to say? A good game is a good game. And good shooters know what's open. Good shooters are like, well, that's open. Why are we saying he's cheating if that's open? I've been seeing the same animation since 18. He says, I have a serious question. This is Prod Kai. Says, does 2K know what percentage of 2K players are actually NBA fans before gamers? Do you actually think they care about likeness and arena updates? That is a good question. That is a great question. Like, you're assuming that that your entire player base are NBA fans, and I'd make the argument from my online experience that these guys don't even play basketball ever. That don't mean they can't be NBA fans. I'm sure there's a lot of NBA fans who don't play basketball too. But just a thought. Where are the thousands and thousands of animations they cried about? I feel like some of these people are protecting. I like the dribbles. I like the movement. I feel it could be refined, but I like the movement on 26. He said everybody trash on 2K25, but 2K25 made a lot more sense than whatever this crap is. That's crazy to me. 2025 didn't make no sense to me. But I was more so, I could say this. Maybe 25 didn't make sense to me. It probably made more sense and aligned more closely with NBA basketball. I don't even know if that's, I don't even agree with that statement, but maybe for a lot of people that is the case. But 2K26 is more aligned in regards to speed and fluidity and how you trigger your moves, is more aligned to some of the better versions of 2K in regards to gameplay, in my opinion. Like I wouldn't want to go backwards to 2K25, 24, 23. You know, I would rather keep going down this route that 26 is starting again. A lot of people who play, but you know, I'm not relating it to basketball, like NBA basketball. I'm more so relating it to my favorite 2K experiences. That's what I meant to say. Yeah. Um, but and all the people crying about cheaters have 5+ build and bought a bunch of VC. Yeah, so that's why they extra mad. I'm just glad to be out there games for us to play besides 2K. Facts, me too. And I'm about to hop on. I'm thinking of hopping on. I've been playing Assassin's Creed Unity. I don't know if you guys tried that yet, but that's an older Assassin's Creed. So I decided to go and give it a shot. It's free on Game Pass, and I think it's on the PlayStation Plus too. So you guys might want to give that a shot. So far, it's looking good. I'm having a good time playing it. I've been playing 2K since Dreamcast Christmas '99. Same here. I've been playing since Dreamcast, the very first release. But on that note, y'all, I'm wishing y'all a safe and blessed one. I wanted to update y'all on what's going on, share what the community felt. We went through the X comments, people pleading with 2K for some level of transparency, pleading with 2K to give us some level of a solution or answer as to how they're choosing to go about this cheating issue. And you know, the second that I hear something, I'll definitely share it with you guys. If we get any feedback from 2K at all, I'll definitely share it with you guys. I may do another live stream later on this evening, playing 2K. This was more of a talking stream to kind of update you guys on what's going on. 2K almost dead. The boxing game is free, but I don't recommend that. That was such a bad experience. I tried the boxing game; it was terrible for me. But on that note, wishing y'all safe and blessed one, man. I'll catch y'all on the next video or live stream. Y'all be easy.